Evet, Sayın Başbakan, Sayın Theresa May, hanımefendi, değerli dostlar,
Dear
değerli
friends,
basın mensupları,
distinguished members of the press,
hepinizi saygıyla
my
selamlıyorum.
greetings to each and every one of you.
Birleşik Krallık Başbakanı
Prime Minister of the United Kingdom,
Bayan
Madam
Theresa
Theresa May,
ülkemize
is realizing
resmi ziyaretini
her
gerçekleştirmiş bulunuyor.
first official visit to our
Kendisini
country,
ve
and it's a
heyetini
great pleasure for me to
Türkiye'de,
host
Ankara'da
her and her
ağırlamaktan
team, her
memnuniyet
delegation in
duyuyoruz.
Ankara.
Sayın May ile ikili
Together with Madam
ilişkilerimizi
Prime Minister, we
etraflıca
have quite extensively
görüşme,
covered
konuşma
all
fırsatı bulduk.
aspects of our bilateral relations.
Başta güvenlik olmak üzere
We
ekonomi
have
alanında
pinpointed
mevcut işbirliğini
our
daha da nasıl geliştiririz?
already
Bu
existing
konularda
cooperation
kapsamlı
in
görüşmeler yaptık.
extending it towards the area of security economy, and both sides have once more pinpointed that there is a common will to further our relations, primarily in the area of security and economy. In 2010, the strategic partnership document signed between Turkey and the United Kingdom has thrown the necessary framework in order to make this intention concrete, and this document will be a guiding one for making this intention concrete. Turkish and British economies are integrated economies, and they are two countries which are allies with intertwined national securities. Therefore, our strategic partnership has already a strong foundation. With the Prime Minister's visit, this partnership will be rendered a more comprehensive one, both bilaterally and globally, in face of today's challenges and opportunities. So, Madam Prime Minister's visit once more confirmed this intention of both sides. In our meetings, we have once more confirmed our objective to further our cooperation in the defense industry. And we have a minute ago signed the relevant agreement in order to develop a national fighter jet between TAI and BA. So a framework agreement has been signed to this end. Thanks to this agreement, both companies will develop a new fighter jet. They are going to work on this new project. Technology and information exchange will be ensured. Capacity building, human resources improvement will be thus ensured in a mutual manner. This project, called TFX, is a project supported by the Republic of Turkey and the United Kingdom. It is a very important project in the defense industry, in the defense sector. This will, I think, further the power of both countries. It's an important area of cooperation. Moreover, terrorism is one of the most important threats nowadays, and when this is taken into account, the security of airports and detecting the people at those airports, whether they're affiliated with a terrorist organization or not, and the fact that the necessary security precautions are taken at the airports. We have agreed to make sure that the civil aviation authorities of both countries will work together to ensure this, and there will be certain exercises realized in 2017 to ensure this. So anyone going to UK or coming to Turkey will have even safer travel trips.
Sayın Başbakan May,
Madam Prime Minister,
temaslarda da hükümete
we have realized certain meetings today, and in those meetings, Madam Prime Minister once more confirmed her support to the government. By that, I mean, first and foremost, you know that we have experienced a treacherous coup attempt on July 15th, and right in the aftermath of this coup attempt, the United Kingdom had a very open stance, and she showed her allegiance with the national will, with democracy, and His Excellency Mr. Ambassador of the United Kingdom to Turkey and the British government, top authorities of the British government, once more was shown to Turkey. Actually, right in the aftermath of July 15th, they were very clear in their stance with their support to Turkey, and this, of course, was highly welcomed by the Turkish people. So once more, I would like to extend my gratitude for their support. Moreover, our country's fight against Daesh, YPG, the HKP, CPYD, and we know this fight we have. Well, each and every day there is a new terrorist organization emanating with a new abbreviation. I mean, it's like putting on new clothes. I mean, no matter what kind of an abbreviation they have, what kind of a title they have, their activities remain the same. And we had the opportunity to tell about our fight against these terrorist organizations, both in Iraq, in Syria, in the region. Turkey will continue her fight against Daesh, and we also reiterated the fact that we need more cooperation in this field, and we have agreed to do that. Distinguished members of the press, amongst certain issues that we discussed, this coup attempt of July 15th and the real actor behind this coup attempt was Fethullah Gülen and the Fethullah Gülen terrorist organization. And Fethullah Gülen terrorist organization also has certain activities in UK as well, and we also had the occasion to communicate to Madam Prime Minister about those activities, and the offshoots of these terrorist organization needs to be tackled, and the necessary actions should be taken. This is what we have kindly asked from Madam Prime Minister. Moreover, we also elaborated on the issue of Cyprus, question of Cyprus. We exchanged ideas. You know that there is this full speed negotiations, Cyprus talks, and of course we also want to settle the question of Cyprus, but that solution, that settlement needs to be fair, meeting the needs of both communities, and it should be fair and lasting. So United Kingdom and Turkey are guarantor countries, and we will be pleased in the end out of all those endeavors. Of course, it is very important that we make this a lasting settlement, and the Turkish Cypriots living there and the Greek Cypriots living there needs to be secured, and the experiences of past should not be repeated, so we should not create such an environment. So securities and guarantees needs to be there. That's what we communicated to Madam Prime Minister. In the region, in Syria, in Iraq, there is lack of authority, and due to that there are certain terrorist activities, and cooperation to fight against those terrorist activities is a must, and all relevant countries should gather in our attempt to fight against this these terrorist organizations, and we should put an end to atrocities, to death, and refugees is not an issue of only one single country, but it is an issue for which all countries are responsible, and Turkey has assumed certain responsibility in this respect, and burden sharing is a must, and to the extent of the powers and capacities of each country can have. In the aftermath of a referendum, United Kingdom decided to leave the European Union, and one of the most important agenda items in front of Madam Prime Minister is this, to take the necessary steps to ensure that within this framework the relations between the UK and Turkey will be developed independently of the European Union, and we are going to initiate such an activity. This activity will be coordinated simultaneously with Brexit, and after Brexit is realized, hopefully we're going to be engaged in a joint effort with relevant ministries to conclude a free trade agreement between Turkey and the United Kingdom. So in this framework, JETCO has already started their meetings, and in the upcoming days those meetings will take place. The relations between Turkey and Turkey is not only limited to increasing the trade volume from 16 billion to 20 billion. We have more potential than this. I mean, the opportunities of both countries, and thinking of the geography that Turkey is in, we should be engaged in economic ties with even greater volumes. We have very important economic opportunities, investment opportunities. Also, there are many opportunities of joint investment in third countries. We also tackled those issues, and we once more confirmed that we are on the same page with Madam Prime Minister on these issues as well. We have approximately 3,000 British companies operating in Turkey, and they are contributing to the employment in Turkey. They're contributing to the economy in Turkey. We see them as one of ours, and we give utmost importance to them. And we also have investments in the UK, and it is our aim to increase their number. We have this objective of $20 billion of trade volume, but already the trade volume is $16 billion. So I believe that in a very short period of time we should be revisiting this target we set. And to this end, I think we should put into more effort to this. So, as I come to my closing remarks, I would like to once more say welcome to Madam Prime Minister and her delegation, and you have the floor, Madam.
Thank you very much. And I'm pleased to be here in Turkey today and to be able to meet Prime Minister Yildirim and President Erdogan just one day after meeting the new US President Donald Trump in Washington. The relationship between Turkey and the United Kingdom has always been important, but it is arguably even more vital today. For Turkey sits on the front line of some of the most difficult and serious challenges we face. This relationship is central to our capacity to tackle the terrorist threat to the UK. Turkey already does a huge amount to disrupt the threat posed to our countries by terrorists, including foreign fighters leaving Syria. And today we've agreed to strengthen our cooperation on security through a new strategic security partnership. This will help our two governments and security services to work even more closely together in important areas such as intelligence sharing, aviation security, and domestic security. This partnership will help Turkey as it grapples with the threat posed by heightened terrorist attacks in this country. We should never forget that in the last 18 months, over 1,500 Turkish civilians and security personnel have been killed by terrorist attacks. Crucially, it will also help to protect the 1.7 million British tourists who travel to Turkey from the UK every year. It is therefore a vital new partnership for us both. We've also discussed a number of other important regional security issues today, including Syria, where we're working together to fight Daesh and create the conditions for peace. The challenge of mass migration, where I pay tribute to Turkey's generosity in hosting more than 3 million refugees from surrounding countries, and where the United Kingdom is committed to doing all it can to help. And Cyprus, where we are both committed to playing our full part in an effort to secure an early agreement. Finally, I'm delighted that we have today been able to mark the signing of a new agreement between TAI and the British business BAE Systems that will see the companies collaborating on the pre-design phase of Turkey's new fighter jet, the TFX. This is more than a trade deal. It is the start of a deep defence partnership that will contribute to our overall security. At the same time, we are today announcing a new and unique government-to-government agreement between Turkey and the United Kingdom that sets a new framework for cooperation and dialogue between our governments, including the defence ministries and air forces. And we've also agreed to establish a trade working group to explore ways in which we can improve Turkish-UK trade. These initiatives stand as concrete commitments to a strengthened relationship between us, which will help to ensure the continued security and prosperity of both Turkey and the UK. This is the first opportunity I've had to visit Turkey since the attempted coup of the 15th of July last year. On that day, the UK was clear that we supported those who stood up for this important democracy and its institutions, and we continue to hope that the values you stood for on that day will guide you in the months and years ahead. So I would like to thank Prime Minister Yildirim for giving up his time today so that we might discuss these important issues. On each one, Turkey is demonstrating its determination to live up to its historic role as a regional power and its significance as a key member of the NATO alliance. I look forward to building on the commitments we've made today in order to strengthen the cooperation between our two nations in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.